It's time for part 3 of my favorite demos of Next Fest of June 2026. Today is the episode where I saved all the very meaty demos to play. So there won't be as many for tonight, but we have some very lengthy ones for you to really enjoy. We're starting things off with Whole is Mine. This is an incremental roguelite adventure. When a cursed hole appears in a village, you must lead a very delightful and a cute set of villagers down there to clean things up. This is a kind of time-based mission roguelite. Each time you go into the hole, you'll have X amount of seconds to do as much progress as you can before you are sent back up. Resources you acquire will of course unlock more perks, especially unlocking longer descents down and additional features. Where the game kind of throws a unique twist on things, it is far more action focused compared to some of the other incrementals we've looked at in the series. You'll have to go around picking up your little guys and flinging them into things to get them to do something. You'll be able to acquire gear that you can equip on them that will give them kind of unique properties while they're wearing it, such as making them more resistant to damage, letting them move faster in water, etc, etc. And soon, you'll go from an army of one to an army of many as you rip and tear through the earth to make progress. There are even boss fights you'll have to deal with as well as the game progresses. And this one just has a really solid just one more turn or one more run feel to it. I'm curious to see if they'll introduce any more subsystems beyond just the gear as you get further in. But this was definitely a delightful take on the incremental. So if you're in the mood to do some digging, and like to match a lot of really cute little guys along the way, then definitely give this one a try. Now we go to Min's Sword. This is the next game from the developer who did Elephantasy, which is a very challenging set of puzzle Metroidvanias. For this one, we are exploring a strange world after we found a magic blade. What does it mean? What are the mysterious temples that are scattered around the land? We're going to have to explore, jump, and slash our way to uncover the mysteries. So this is more or less both a top-down as well as a side-scrolling Metroidvania. You'll explore the world, trying to complete quests, find various MacGuffins, and make progress in any of the different ways. Combat is basically kind of like twin stick, as you'll move with WSAD or your left analog stick, and then either use your arrow keys or your right analog stick to swing your sword. Now your sword can be knocked out of your hands during combat, so you want to sheath it when you're not actively attacking, but you can knock weapons out of the enemies as well. And the game, at least from the demo, shows that there's a penchant for a lot of secrets, bonus challenges, and more to uncover. And this one looks like it's going to be a very challenging, at least in terms of finding everything, puzzle Metroidvania. So if you're in the mood to do some deducing while hacking and slashing, very easy recommendation and one that I want to go back to and just see where else will things lead in this demo. And now we leave the cute behind for Divine Frequency. We chatted a demo to this one several years ago, and then the developer unfortunately disappeared for a bit, but they are back to working on it. This is a kind of survival horror meets Doom style game with a touch of Deus Ex thrown in. You are left stranded in a strange dimension, and the only way to figure out what is going on is to move very slowly and kill lots and lots of strange monsters. A big aspect of Divine Frequency is that you are kind of relatively weak at the start of this game. While your guns do great damage, they will need to be repaired constantly, and you have very limited inventory to start things off. You'll be able to customize your character by choosing different kind of frequencies at the start to base yourself on. This is kind of like your quote-unquote class. And you'll eventually be able to upgrade yourself by making very important choices as well. The game will allow you to kind of play it in different ways, focusing heavily on melee, range, or kind of going for your own chaotic build. And whatever paths you choose will also affect what information and kind of side quests that you can do. The demo that we played, and I'm not quite sure if it's going to be consistent in the full game, is relatively linear. You're only exploring a very set place with lots of enemies trying to kill you. And enemies in this game are very fast and they are very aggressive for you to fight. And you'll explore to get more of the mystery. And this was a very lengthy demo. It is different compared to the first one that we played several years ago. It's kind of going to some different sections and having more interesting arenas. And like that previous one, I am very curious to see where this is going to go. So if you're in the mood for a very moody and very challenging FPS, and you have quite a lot of time to play because this demo was quite long, then definitely give this one a try. We leave the doom and gloom behind, at least for a little bit, with Windrunners. This is another in the arcade kind of roguelite style, with heavy emphasis on dogfighting. You are trying to stop an evil empire, and your lone ship must destroy a lot of enemies to do so. The general play should be familiar to anyone who's looked at this kind of genre before. You'll be able to fly around, speed up, slow down, do a barrel roll, and you'll acquire a variety of different weapons and perks that will aid you. You'll be able to combine perks based on kind of different conditionals, such as using when your special meter is full, using when you're boosting, etc, etc. And you'll choose which maps to go on next. That will affect what your rewards are. While it starts out very simple, soon you're going to be in some bullet and missile hell, trying to dodge everything. My kind of complaint, I do wish there was a little bit more like feedback to the attacks. Like there's very few sound effects in this one. And it kind of feels like a little bit like quiet, even though there's music playing in the background. And there were some situations where it just felt like there was like so many things coming that was a little bit hard to tell like what is going on. This is a game where the screen fills up with bullets, lasers, and ships very quickly. The demo did kind of promise that there will be meta progression. You'll be able to unlock additional pilots, additional sub-weapons, etc, etc. And this one's just very entertaining. So if you're in the mood to do some dog fighting, then definitely give this one a play. We get to the main event of our video for today with Immortal Shell 2. The game ran a playtest during NextFest and we went through quite a bit of it. This is the sequel to the very first one that I really enjoyed as kind of its own spin on the Souls-like formula. And for the sequel, they have updated and advanced things even further. We are searching for very not so spooky eggs from a strange creature, and we are going to have to get good and try and not die a lot to explore this world. The basics of the first game remain. You will enter different shells. These shells will be your quote-unquote character. If you run out of health, you'll be knocked out of your shell. If you are killed again, it is actually a death. But from there, developers have expanded on almost nearly every aspect of the first game. First off, you now have a ranged weapon. You start out with your own shotgun, and all the cool stuff in this game regenerates or charges based on doing melee. So you won't have to worry about having limited ammo until you go back to a bonfire. Each character now has more ways of customizing themselves. You'll be able to once again acquire different weapons, but you now have 2 ways of further building yourself, or should I say 3 ways, I almost forgot one. So your shell comes with it its own power. Your starting character has the ability to kind of freeze or turn all the enemies into a hardened form, which will then allow you to break their stagger meter faster. You'll also acquire seals, and the seals do all kinds of things, but they will also affect your defensive options. So one seal will allow you to do blocks or perfect blocks. Another one will give you the power to harden, much like the defensive option in the first game. You'll acquire, I think they're called tar stones, which are passive artifacts you can equip onto your character once you find them, which can then be leveled up to give themselves even more effects. Now, unlike the first game, which the entire structure was hub area, 3 major dungeons, beat them to win, they're now going for more of an open world. The world is going to be full of events, dungeons, more shells, more weapons, more enemies who will love to smack you down along the way. And yes, this is going to be another challenging game, but everything just felt really great to play in it. Combat still has a very meaty feel to it, and it also is surprisingly responsive, which you might not think of it of the footage shown. You can switch between melee and range very effortlessly. You will have to do multiple hardens or multiple parries if you want to stagger some of the more advanced enemies. And yes, expect to die a whole lot. And there are now more items to collect, more rewards to uncover. There's even a nod to Doom Eternal in this one as well, which I won't spoil here. But yeah, all in all, if you were a fan of the first Mortal Shell, this just feels like a far more realized, improved, and interesting sequel to play. And if you found the first one to be frustrating or a bit limited, this one feels a little bit more balanced in that respect. You start with a few more tools compared to the first game, so you're not going to be as behind the 8 ball trying to learn it. So if you're a Souls-like fan and you are looking for another game that potentially could be a huge winner, I highly recommend you give this one a play, and I am certainly here to play this one on day one. We leave the combat behind for some incremental with Kingdom Inc. This is a minimalist city builder / incremental. You'll be staring at your lovely condensed kingdom here, setting up chains of goods and trying to earn resources to progress. As the game develops, you will eventually unlock kind of an army management where you'll need to outfit your army using the gear that you make in order to go out and conquer other kingdoms. As you explore, as you keep going up, you'll be able to upgrade the various kind of buildings / panels here to either acquire more resources, set them to automate, and you get the picture. Not the most, again, like bombastic game compared to our previous one, but everything here felt really nice as an incremental fan. And the added kind of depth of the kingdom management and army systems sounds very intriguing to play. And if you are an incremental fan, I would definitely recommend you give this one a try. And another one that I'm curious to see where it's going to go when it is released. And now for a different kind of city interaction with Vholume, and that's with VH. This is a parkour kind of racing game. You are exploring a very brutalist and very desolate city, trying to get from point A to point B as quickly as you can, using the power of your feet to do so. The controls here are kept very basic. You can run, jump, slide, and wall jump, and wall run as well. And you must get through these levels as quickly as you can. There are time trials as well as, again, a leaderboard to prove how whoever is the fastest among our parkour players. In terms of difficulty, this one can be a little bit tricky. There are checkpoints in these levels, but they are few and far between. But the big thing is just trying to figure out where you're supposed to go. The first levels are kept very basic, just keep running forward. But then the game introduces a lot of turns, a lot of twists, and there's a kind of like beauty to how desolate the world is in this one. And if you are in the mood to do some parkour and platforming, definitely give this one a try. We now go to a game that was even harder for me to play than Mortal Shell 2 earlier, and that is about fishing. This is from the developer of Arctic Eggs, which is a very strange and very physics-driven game about, well, cooking eggs. Now we're fishing in both traditional and not so traditional ways. The hook of this one, pun intended, is that you'll control your fishing rod kind of in full 3D. You'll use your mouse to determine the angle as well as the direction you're going to be swinging it in, and you're going to catch a lot of fish and other things. I would like to show off more of this one, but I got completely and utterly stuck in the tutorial because I apparently don't know how to hook a curly fry to save my life. And I'm not sure if did I like soft lock the game or am I just that bad at fishing. But yeah, this is a game that is probably not going to appeal to a lot of people, but for those who it does get their hook in, you're going to have a very entertaining and very strange time doing all that fishing. So you don't mind challenging fishing and like curly fries, I would give this one a try. And now we go to Alice's Gaze. This is a horror incremental. You play a girl named Alice. You are trapped in a strange place. In order to get out, we must incremental and pet a cat a whole lot. The game is split between, at least in the demo, 2 distinct modes. You have your idle mode where you'll pet your lovely cat here to earn money to acquire more resources to then allow you to automate to get more coins, etc, etc. You then go into the Abyss, which is a kind of real-time combat where you'll charge up your attacks and make as much progress as you can, earning souls, which are used for its own form of currency and upgrades and so on. With your overall goal is to unlock more of the world, to get more features, to get more upgrades, and you get the picture. This one does feel a little bit slower at the start, as you'll need to make use of both systems to get any kind of headway going in terms of unlocking more content. The mystery angle is interesting, and I would say if you're an idle fan, then this one is at least worth a check, especially if you're a cat lover. And for the last game of our video today, we go to Restory. This is a electronics repair shop simulator set in early 2000s Tokyo. People will come to your shop with all manner of retro and vintage electronics that you'll need to do your best to repair, to earn money to pay that rent, and to unlock more tools and means of expanding your shop, all while dealing with a very interesting and endearing cast of characters. Now, you do not need to have an electronics background in order to play this one. You'll take apart devices, see which aspects of it are either need to be cleaned or need to be fixed or replaced, and then get those pieces. You'll be able to use the early 2000s internet to go on and buy either replacement parts or replacement electronics that you can hopefully scavenge the needed pieces out of in order to repair the one you need to earn your money. As the game progresses, you'll be able to upgrade by getting better tools that'll make things easier and faster for you to do. And yeah, this is just an incredibly charming game. It also will make you feel really old when you realize that this is vintage electronics from the year 2000 for all these skeletons in the audience watching this right now. And yeah, this is not meant to be an overly difficult game either. Thanks to the instructions on the right, you'll be able to quickly know how to disassemble or reassemble your various electronics. I'm curious to see what other things the demo or the full game will have, but if you're in the mood to do some very wholesome repair work, then this is a very easy recommendation. And with that, day 3 of our showcase comes to an end. We are not anywhere close to finishing things up. Again, if you'd like to take your demo, be sure to get in touch. Let me know what you thought about these games down below, and we'll be back with even more demos with our next fest coverage coming soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.